1, 2, 1, 2. We are testing 1, 2. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to day 3 and final day of 2024 Small Countries Association Championships. Day 1 will be between Scotland and San Marino.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our final day of competition. Up first is a winner takes all match between both undefeated teams of Scotland and San Marino. We will ask, if able, please stand for the national anthems, starting with the anthem of Scotland. And now, the national anthem of San Marino. Please now welcome all support your referees for today's game. First referee from Ireland, Alan Gorley. Second referee from Northern Ireland, Patrick Elder. And now, let's make some noise for the starting six from Scotland. Captain number 1, U20. Number 2, Captain McDonald. Number 3, Owen Johnson. Number 7, Jack Rogers. Number 10, Number 11, Claire Patterson. And the starting leader, number 13, Uza Mappy. The head coach of Scotland is Ali Jack. And now, representing San Marino, Captain number 5, Davide Garacoli. Number 2, Luca Volpinari.
Welcome everybody to day 3 of the CV Under-20 European qualifiers. We have our first game of the day between Scotland and San Marino. Both teams unbeaten so far in this tournament, with the winner likely to progress on to the European finals. I'm joined here today by Graham Bell, Under-20 women's kite coach. How are you doing, Graham?
Nice to be here. Obviously, probably the game everyone's been looking forward to the most, apart from the very awaitedly Northern Ireland.
Yes, this is definitely a nice warm-up match to that game here coming on after this match today, but we hope that we can entertain you with some high-class volleyball here between Scotland and San Marino. Match today being officiated by Ireland referee Alan Gormley and Northern Ireland referee Patrick Elder, as Cole Turnbull starts us off with the serve. Free ball opportunity here for San Marino. Roll shot well dealt with by Turnbull. Both setters being forced to defend here. Free ball opportunity for Scotland. And David Matza hitting that ball long, looking for a touch off the block, but not getting it.
Uncharacteristic for San Marino. It's been a really consistent, good, well-gelled team, but maybe they feel like the pressure Scotland is going to put on them today. They need to come out swinging a little harder. Absolutely,
and up against a tough block in there, captain Ewan Ramsey. No bother there to captain David Garatoni for San Marino. As Bartholomew Bijou goes back to serve for San Marino. Set just chipping over the net there. As David Matza shows his appreciation for that hit. Ewan Ramsey just unable to control it.
Gabriel, get him.
Free ball opportunity here for San Marino. Great connection there between setter and middle. That's number 2, Luca Volpinari, who was very effective yesterday. Through the middle, both in attack and blocking.
So we've seen generally in this tournament so far a lack of, middles dominating in the middle of the court. We've had a lot of really good outsides and opposites. As teams, to control the game, control the middle of the court, to open the game later on. It's something nice to see at the beginning of the sets.
Lovely overhead pass there by Nabi. Nicolo Conti is absolutely delighted with that one-man block.
I think this is wonderful to see. If you do something good, celebrate it, enjoy it.
Absolutely, absolutely. He's out there on his own one-on-one with Ewan Ramsey.
It always feels good to block their biggest player as well.
Absolutely. Oh, and Ewan Ramsey lets Nicolo Conti know. He was one-on-one there, and he didn't miss.
I think that bodes really well that, he gets blocked and the setter goes straight back to him saying, you're my guy. You're going to lead this team. Get this next ball back in the game. Ball rolling.
Great confidence in your hitter there. As that just goes a little long for Jack Rogers of Scotland. Just wide of the line there for Cara Patterson. Tough serve now coming from Nicolo Conti. He caused a lot of damage from the service line yesterday. As the Scottish players step up on their pass. Just a little misconnection there. Timeout call by Scotland. It's 2-7. They find themselves in an unfamiliar position. What do you think head coach for Scotland is saying there, Graham?
I think for Scotland, they have to keep steady. And for their set there, you can see they haven't played anything else apart from Ewan so far, and you're not going to play 100% of the ball. No matter how much the coach has said, go to our guy, get the points on the board. But he forced it. And the balance is, when do you force it, when do you not?
Yeah, and we've seen throughout this tournament that when they've been in trouble, Scotland have gone to their captain, Ian Ramsey, who has been effective. But like you said, San Marino have been very consistent throughout this tournament so far.
So I think so far San Marino has been the best all-round team. They don't panic when they're a couple of points down. They believe we will chip away at you and we will get you at the end. And for Scotland, they have to get a point lead and just push and hope that there's too much for San Marino to come back and that they kill themselves at the end trying too hard.
Good timeout there for Scotland, resulting in an uncharacteristic miss there for Nicola Conti. As Owen Johnson steps back to serve for Scotland. Pass well dealt with there by Giry. Lovely transition to play there by Scotland, nice and calm, a little bit more like what you're talking about there. Nice, taking their time, balls high off the net.
But it shows the age and the experience of Ramsey so far. That ball wasn't there to be hit hard. Shows a good option. I think even for us as coaches, obviously you'd want him to hit it as hard as possible. And if the libero steps in and makes that dig perfect, maybe the coach has a pop saying, hey, have a swing.
Yeah. Right there, they needed a level head. Yeah. Ramsey is certainly that for them. David Matza just missing from the service line.
So I think it's regardless of level or standard, the game is the same at all levels. Control the ball and play the way you want. And as soon as you get influenced and pressured by an opponent that you can't play the way you want, you start to see performances being affected, people dropping, people panicking, people trying to do more than normal. And you can see for San Marino having control of the entire tournament so far, this is the first time where they really have a bit of pressure on them, and now they're having to play differently. And you can see they're a little bit shaken now compared to the other matches.
Full Panari there. Tough serve to the line. Ken Goldturman going to Ramsey in the back row. Just hitting that long. He doesn't mistake twice. Great set there by Cole Turnbull. Giving Ramsey the line. Score now is 6-10. San Marino leading by 4. As Keir Patterson goes back to serve for Scotland. Uncharacteristic error there by libero Gabriel Giry. He's definitely put under more pressure today compared to yesterday. Yesterday he was definitely someone to avoid on the serve receive. Scotland trying to target him deep there. San Marino looking for a touch, but none there.
So you can just see the frustration starting to build up. They need to find a foothold in the game. And they got to pick one thing to go. Is it their attacking? Is it their serving? Is it their passing? Just to start building momentum. Because at the minute, they throw everything at the wall. And sometimes it's sticking and sometimes it's not.
Nice touch off the top of the block there. Scotland. Great patience out of the net there by San Marino. Unlucky to make that free ball pay off. Just not connecting there.
So, you know, you could say it's unlucky, but just when you're down, those things don't go for you.
No.
If you're in a positive run of form, that ball touches the line and you keep going. And it's San Marino just in one of these phases. Whether it's like any other sport, you get phases where you're up, phases whenever you're down. And this is, you know, that 30 to 40 minute in a football game where you're just behind and you're wondering what's going on. And they just need to settle themselves. And as coaches, we feel like we're in control of this a lot of the time. We're not. No. We try our best. We support them. We care about the players. But you can't tell them too much right now.
No.
Focus. Just go out and play. As soon as you get 1 or 2 points, because we'll be simple, and as soon as you get a little bit of run, you get a little bit of smile, that was a good point, put your foot back down on the accelerator.
Absolutely. Definitely Scotland have grinded things back there now. Score is 10-all. Gone from a 7-2 deficit earlier in this set, and their last time out Scotland. They'll be very happy with how they've turned this set around. Keir Patterson targeting libero Gabriel Giri again. High. He's passed very well when the ball is in front of him. That's the second time he's made an error, hands overhead. I feel his teammates might need to help him out here. Garatoni with the overpass. Momentum has definitely swung towards Scotland. You feel that San Marino maybe are playing with a little bit more hesitancy, yes, both in their pass and in their attack.
As you said, it's very hard to be expressive whenever the flow of the game is going against you, and they're very one-dimensional of just going to the outside. Their opposites have made errors. They have no other options except outside. Scotland have a good block on this right side. You know, everything's stacked against them, and as I said, they just have to find a foothold. Normally, this is where you take your luck off a missed serve or a lucky side out, and you have to focus on serving to start to breathe some positive energy into the team again.
Great pass there by David Matza.
There we go, there's one. But you see the celebration isn't there. And no, you got to pick that up, because if you serve with too little intent now, you're back down again. And this is what character really tells.
I'd like to see San Marino run their middle a little bit more. There was an opportunity there off that good pass. You can see the Scotland block is starting to stack on that wing. Well done there, great connection between setter and hitter Duncan MacDonald.
You can see a little bit of disorganisation. I wouldn't say fingers pointing, but people aren't happy out there knowing what's going on.
Duncan MacDonald goes back to serve for Scotland. Nice overhead pass there. Nicola Conti just not connecting there.
And I have to give it to Scotland. Sometimes teams will come out too aggressively now to put the game to bed, but they're in the ascendancy and they're just taking point after point, point after point. They're letting San Marino make the errors. They're staying disciplined. Really good coaching going on there.
Nicola Conti finds his spot again this time. But like I said, needs to see a little bit more energy from San Marino here. Need to celebrate those points, help them shift the momentum back. Score now 15-12 to Scotland.
Ace always brings a smile to the team's face.
Captain David Garatoni set an example from the service line. A little bit of miscommunication there between Jack Roger and Keir Patterson in the back row. And Jack Roger just forcing that a little bit too much. Pass was well off the neck hold. Turnbull made a good decision there. Surprised he didn't go to his out hitter, who has been Ewan Ramsey. He's trying to keep some variation in that attack, I think.
Exactly.
Nice pass there by Keir Patterson.
No touch on it. So I think as younger setters, learning not just to set the ball, but to control the game and when to give the ball to someone. And I think for what's the Scotland side in there?
Cole Turnbull.
For Cole, you know, to go to the number 7 on that's not bad. It's your first pop at side out. If you don't get it, then go to your guy. So I don't mind teams trying to do something else on the first bite of the cherry. But before it starts to go down, before you start losing 3, 4, 5 points, and then you panic, and then you're definitely not setting the 7 or the middle.
Yeah.
I think it's good to go early. If it works, it works. Everyone's great. Everyone's smiling.
We know it's really important to get all of your players in the game, get them involved, get them ready, get them hungry for it. The last thing you want is for your hot hitter to either be blocked out or impossible to set, and you'll have less options as the game goes on. David Matza finding his way from between the antenna and the outside of the block there, still hitting cross court. As Bartholomew Bijou steps back to serve. Nice overhead pass there. Very comfortable there for Ramsey. Lovely set.
The rally call from Ewan saying, let's go, boys.
Scotland pull one ahead, 17-16. Oh, what a time to get an ace. Jack Rogers will be absolutely delighted with that. And then thinking this point in the game, that ace is worth like 2 points, momentum-wise. Free ball opportunity here for Scotland.
So it's one of those ones you would like to distribute equally, you would like to keep the opposition guessing, but as I said, for me, it's like football. Who's that 30-goal-a-season striker? And if you don't have him, game's tough. You have to go to your go-to guy. Keep the energy up, keep the points ticking over.
In fairness to San Marino, they had stacked their block. They read the decision well. Just were no match. Both times for Ewan Ramsey.
And I think it's real confidence from Ewan at the moment because he's choosing what to do. He wants to go line, he wants to go cross. Even though San Marino knows he's getting the ball, he still has options. And that instills the rest of the Scottish team with confidence, no matter what happens. Bad dig, bad set, we give it to him, we
Great.
keep going.
Up there from setter Cole Turnbull, taking it out of the net. We'll wait and see what this call is. Calling a double touch. Or a neck touch. Not entirely sure, he might have been signaling. Number 2 hit the net. But super work there on defense from Scotland. Libero Saeed Nabi powering that, or getting behind that ball. It went into the net, but Cole Turnbull had the patience to wait for it to come out of the net.
And I love that these things happen more and more often, and that we are live streaming here today because there's so many people have always asked me, can you play it when it goes in the net? And you're like, yes. What happens? Can you kick it? I know my teacher says no. Yes, you can, but you should. We prefer you not to. I've had so many people ask, are you allowed to run outside the court to play the ball? And I'm like, yeah, it's kind of like tennis. You know, run wherever you need to.
Yeah.
And it's nice that we can highlight these things to people.
Absolutely.
Hopefully they're tuning in and learning something.
Absolutely. And some great examples here, it has to be said, on both sides of the court. So long as the ball goes back over between the antenna, we're happy. As Jack Rogers goes back to serve for Scotland. Pass well dealt with by Jury there. He's got that. Great job. Oh, free ball opportunity here for San Marino. Scotland chase back. Lovely line shot there by Nicola Conti. That'll give him a bit of confidence. Some great determination there by Scotland.
I think it's one of the wonderful things about the sport of volley. It is very stop and start, but once it goes a couple times over the net, it turns into a flow, and as you said, it's worth more. It feels like it.
Yes. Great defense here by San Marino. Nice high ball by setter Gasparoni.
Great recycle.
Free ball opportunity here for Scotland. Well done, Giri. Just unable to control it, but great dedication there by Nicola Conti, chasing that ball out over the sideline.
So it's one of these things. The opposite had a chance for a swing and didn't. He didn't want to make the error. We can't forget these are still young, developing players. But the game is, if you don't attack and put pressure on your opponent, they're going to attack and put pressure on you. And the probability is, I'm going to make more points off attacking than I am going to dig their attacking. So it's managing, that risk, and hopefully when they grow up, become even better players, they need to start having swings on those balls.
Absolutely. Ewan Ramsey's not missing the day.
But
Even when
what I
they're
really
out
like, he's just being a solution finder. He's finding angles, he's getting good range on things. Hasn't been blocked, This really matters, they're not stopping the big guy.
And even some really nice out-of-system play, It was the middle, Owen Johnson in the back row, who set that ball for Scotland. And again, all of the players are aware, where is our out in that moment? Who will be consistent for us? And
I think this is one of the important things now with talent pathway teams. They train more often together, that they know what's going to happen. It's not always about communication. It's not always about teamwork. It's about knowing where they are and what they're supposed to be doing.
nice pass there, Nicola Conte from the back
Really
row.
nice, really nice.
As a set point, Scotland, it's really important that San Marino build a little bit of momentum here. Neck touch anyway. We've seen David Matza put some pressure on from the service line.
He's got a big challenge in front of him, but
Beautiful overhead pass there by Nabi. Well watching the block. Long arms of David Gasparoni. Better transition to play there by San Marino. You saw the middle block for Scotland. Duncan MacDonald was not getting out there. Ewan Ramsey on his own, just not guiding that ball back into court.
good timeout from Ali Jack. Momentum just starting to swing. Nerves kicking in. At the moment, it's not an issue, but you lose one or two more, people start to bite their fingernails.
Absolutely, absolutely.
But you were saying about the long arms of the blocker. It does help.
Yeah.
It really, really does, just to move them around. And, it helps being tall in volleyball, obviously, but not just being tall. Obviously, a taller person has longer limbs. You can get that jump height as a smaller person, but just having that longer limb really makes a big difference. It's like a sprinter with long legs.
Yes. Yeah, well, it just takes so long to get up there when you're small, Graham, because you have to get all the way up and then you have to get all the way back down.
I will take your word for it.
yeah.
Fortunately, that's why I'm a professional coach, not a professional player, because I'm short, but I don't get up there anyway.
David Matza to serve.
Big swing, big swing.
Going to Keir Patterson there. He had an open court in front of him. San Marino maybe guessing that Ewan Ramsey might have been the favourite on that point.
So I think for Scotland, it's still trying to figure out how much can you use Ramsey to open up a channel for that one-on-one, because they do have other good hitters on the outside, and it's trying to get them isolated one-on-one is a great tactical advantage that, in volleyball, attacking is an advantage. And to make that dig, even if they're not your star player, it's tough. So it'd be the question, can they run Ramsey enough to make San Marino adjust? And we've seen it, that they start to double up on Ramsey early, and it's just finding that balance, keeping them biting on Ramsey, him dealing with good options, and then going to the outside in the middle to give them that tactical advantage.
Absolutely. Yes, I'd really like to see a little bit more middle maybe being run by Scotland, because I certainly think they're getting the free ball in, they're getting the pass in. I feel like Cole Turnbull certainly has a lot of options available to him, but yeah, a little bit more variety in the offense.
And I think for San Marino now, I would just like to see a little more calmness from the serving line. but then put that energy into the ball rather than, you know, they're a little angsty at the moment from the service line. And when Scotland they're getting in their face, they're with the ball, with the pressure they're putting on them, and I think to create that distance where you can breathe and think, you have to serve well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you can see a little bit in the middle of that set, they probably came away from each other a little bit, and that certainly started to affect their pass. And so their communication started to break down a little bit. So I think, like you said, they may need to work a little bit at the start, really driving that communication, which might feel a little unnatural. When you're under pressure, it's definitely harder for that communication to come. But I think it's in those moments where you think about, you have to doing your job, trusting your teammates.
And it is difficult. Most of these teams, when they train, they know where they should be, but they get very ingrained in it. So for coaches to make a change during the game, to do something completely different that's normal. So my thought for San Marino, leave the cheat blocking on Ramsey, but the defense has to kind of adjust wider. So they're just taking all these roll shots. If he hits it hard and we don't dig it, okay, we keep going, great swing. But any kind of roll shot off things, we got to be ready. We pick all of that up, and we got more scoring opportunities.
Yeah.
And then, you know, we live with the outside one-on-one, and we do our best. But to get that ingrained in players to go, okay, you normally stand there, now stand 2 meters somewhere else. That's so difficult, because you're really just trained, ingrained to just go to that spot all the time.
Absolutely.
But this is the difference of, you know, being tactically astute or not.
Yeah, well, and here's the thing, I mean, they have a wonderful setter in David Gasparoni, and, you know, a high ball in the middle of the court, he will find his hitters. But I think they need we need to be giving Scotland less free ball opportunities, because I have no doubt that Cole Turnbull will start to distribute a little bit more widely, and that will only cause more problems for San Marino. So, yeah, every opportunity to be aggressive should be taken. And aggressive doesn't mean hard hitting, aggressive just means pressure. Though I did have a teammate who came off and he said, the tip is right behind the block. She said, I didn't come here to tip. So,
License to kill.
pretty much. Good option off a free ball. Like to see it. Start the set, try to get your middles involved. Unlucky not to pay off.
But I find volleyball's a wonderful sport because it's only 1 point. And at the start of the game, it doesn't really matter that much. Teams are figuring themselves out, first 8 to 10 points. But that 1 point happens at, 23-23. It's like the world is about to end.
Absolutely. Setter for Scotland, Cole Turnbull. That block. I think it was a good decision to set Nicola Conti, but kind of a surprise that it got blocked there. They really shouldn't be. Better pass there by David Matza.
Yeah. Cole just tightened up a little bit. That extra height on the ball really makes a difference.
It's so scary when it's so high like that, though. I mean, absolutely wonderful defense there by Saeed Nabi.
So I know it's not dropping from 10,000 meters, but there does be a little bit of terminal velocity kicking in to absorb that energy in your hands is difficult.
Oh, what a great up there.
And again, for Scotland, we know we can pass, we know we can play. They got off that net tip, we reset, we go again, we side out, we keep pushing.
Absolutely. Well taken overhead there.
Oh, just hit the little spectator in the back of the head.
Oh no.
I think she's okay.
Better lineup on defense there by San Marino, really forcing Ramsey to have to go cross court. As Bijou serving now for San Marino. Just clipping the antenna there. Scotland taking a lot of passes overhead, kind of, I suppose, taking all of the float out of the San Marino serve.
And I am a great fan of that. The only thing I would say for Scotland is to maybe start a metre higher up the court, because the last couple they've had with their hands, it's just dropping just below their nose, it's shooting a little flat, it's putting Cole under pressure.
Absolutely.
I think also from, you know, logistical point of view with it, if you're standing, you know, deep into the court and it's coming fast and high and you reach it because you can reach it and you touch it and you look around and you go, oh, that was out.
Yes, yeah. Though in fairness, some of those float serves are just dropping at the last minute.
Yeah.
Certainly want to be following them to the line. Bijou goes back to serve here for...
Although this is also why I'm a fan of receiving topspin serves rather than float. It looks spectacular. It makes me feel great when you just pop it up.
Good run there through the middle. Maybe not quite the dramatic contact he would have liked there, Owen Johnson, but he made that set work, tipping it.
And I think this is part for volleyball. You know, we want to show spectacular things. We want to see big serves. We want to see people making big digs.
Lovely cross-court shot by Nicola Conti. Again, finding that angle outside the block.
So this is something that really impresses me about the Scottish setter. This ability to go long distance back is more and more important in the men's game to keep options open, and he does that really well. And I think from what I've seen in this tournament so far, he's definitely my pick for the next one to be pushing for his senior national teams, potentially trying to get contracts abroad. And it's just the style fits the requirement to be successful.
Absolutely. And why wouldn't he be good at setting backwards? You've got you and Ramsey there. Why wouldn't you be trying to find him at all times?
It is a massive confidence, and you trust he's going to be there. You don't double think, how high, where do I go? You just bang it.
Well reached on that ball. Setter there we go. San Marino taking advantage of that free ball opportunity.
It's nice that they apologise to the ref. I like to see that sportsmanship. Obviously, you know, sometimes you feel unfair that you didn't get the point or there was an error in there. Obviously, if you go and win it, it tastes doubly good.
Yes.
But it is nice that they apologised afterwards for letting the emotion get the better of them. It is competition, it happens.
Absolutely, yeah. In that moment where you're convinced. Top referee Alan Gormley, more than capable of handling a little emotion. Monster block there by setter, a middle combo there. Luca Volcanari and David Gasparoni. Volcanari was very influential in the block yesterday. I'd like to see him influencing the game a little bit more from that position. And Ramsey there just powering through that block. I feel like there's a little bit of a mistime between Volcanari and his outside pin blocker, David Garatoni. Oh, that is in. That is in. No mistake about that.
One of my lovely sayings of coaching, spin and win.
Spin and win. Is dropping so quickly. David Matza doing well to get underneath it, but just not able to bring it back into court. A good timeout being called here by San Marino coach. The score is 9-7 to San Marino.
And not just what Ramsey was doing with the ball serving, not only just celebrating, lifting the team up, but you see him even the last 6 meters walking off court. Big celebration. chill, let the energy come down, because sometimes you can get overwhelmed if you're trying to lead the team too much. You put too much on your shoulders. You got to have a respite yourself.
Especially when you're the person going back on to serve after a timeout. Need to be nice and level-headed.
Also, let's say, usually if they go past the third serve, they go a wee bit longer. Quite often, you know, nerves bring in, you don't want to miss the first one. You get it in, you feel good, you go your normal serve. You get it in, you're like, oh yeah, let's go. And then you just hit it that little bit too much, you pull it down, you hit it out. So this is the test of, you know, good mental skills. Can I be repeatable? Can I control myself?
Absolutely.
Now we go again.
Oh, pass well dealt with by Giri, running the middle there.
There we go.
Beautiful swing by Ciara Patterson there on the wing. Absolutely beautiful. I feel like Scotland are really scoring a lot between the antenna and the block there. Don't know if San Marino need to pull that block over just a little bit more. Giri just unable to control that. That's the fourth serve from Captain Ewan Ramsey.
And now there's always the little philosophical debate. Should Cole keep setting Ramsey? Do you over pump him? Does he miss his next serve? Because now it's just about keeping that run going. But at the same time, if you give him nothing, maybe he's frustrated.
Don't know. Depends what he's like as a person.
True.
It's a good run of serves there by.
But unfortunately, as coaches or viewers or fans, it'll always be whatever happens, they'll tell you you should have done the other one.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, hindsight is a wonderful thing. Here we have Volpinari back to serve. Overhead pass. Just not going forward there for Scotland. Free ball opportunity here for San Marino. Well blocked by Colin Turnbull. Joust at the net. Won by Scotland. Duncan MacDonald very happy with that. Lovely one-man block there by Colin Turnbull. Probably one of the shorter players on the court. But no bother to him. Well taken there by Giri. Great hit by Ewan Ramsey. I would have said that set was probably a little low, but great adjustment on the on his approach.
So we start very basic with lots of techniques. If your body goes in the direction you want to hit, it makes your life easy. If your body's going the other way, your arm, your technique, your contact has to, you know, correct for everything, and it makes life difficult. But a great experience swing there from Ramsey.
Just there by Jack Rogers, just not exactly where he wanted it. And absolutely punished by Nicola Conti. He definitely seems to be the go-to player right now for San Marino. That brings us to 11-all. Setter David Gasparoni just going long. Backcourt setter here for San Marino. You'd think they'll probably go for Gasparoni. Indeed they do. Just a little too much on that by Jack Rogers.
So just for those non-volleyball experts out there watching, they quite often try to go for Conti just because as he's passing. Can you get him unstable? Can you just make that rhythm a little harder to find your approach? Make life difficult that he can't get that good swing off. Love to see that.
Yeah, from a set from right behind his shoulder. Little off-speed shot there by David Matza. Garatoni, lovely pass in from the back row. Setter finding Conti again. Great defense.
Ooh, unlucky.
Oh. Really unfortunate there for San Marino. You have to say that point felt like it was going to be theirs. They should take some, you know, joy out of that really great transition to play some beautiful defense high into middle court. Good distribution there by Setter. David Gasparoni, but I think Nicola Conti definitely being effective for them from the line. But I have to hand it to Saeed Nabeed, getting in behind on that defense. Service now for number 10 for San Marino, Bartolome Biju.
Unfortunate there just to lift the ball. It's looping. So whatever we say, like 2 seconds later, it repeats it.
Deep serve there by San Marino's number 10, Bartolome Biju. Number 7 for Scotland, Jack Rogers, goes back to serve. Ooh. An uncharacteristic miss on the pass there by David Garatoni. Jack Rogers there, absolutely cracking it cross court on his serve. And Libero get...
San Marino having a little bit of problems receiving that ball on that left and right side.
Going to Ramsey again. Good touch off the block there by David Matza, slowing it down. Oh! Just a miscommunication there between the two of them.
So this is where a lot of coaches will come back and say, this is about teamwork, communication. Honestly, the middle just has to learn, land, get out of there. The quicker you go away, the quicker you let someone come in and do what they're supposed to do.
Oh, just long from Conti. And Scotland pull ahead by 2 points, 17-15. I feel like momentum is kind of swinging either way here. Going to Conti again. Just forces that a little bit, do you think?
So this is where we look with, you know, being in a good rhythm or momentum with players. The players have the same skill and technical ability every single time, but everything influences everything. The score influences you, what your coach just said to you, the last thing you did with the ball, and all of these are detracting factors that you just have to get rid of, go point for point, and it's easy to say, hard to do.
Very hard to do, especially if you're feeling if you're feeling under pressure, you're going to go and do the thing that you always do, the thing that usually gets you out of trouble, and that may not be the right option in that moment. So Nicola Conti has been a great leader for his team at the moment.
And this is where, you know, you can't get too hard on himself. He's had a great game so far. You make 1 or 2 errors. Unfortunately, volleyball is an errors game. And that's not to mean that we try to make them, but you just have to manage them. But we try to have a risk, we try to manage it, but it's about making points at the end. And if there's no risk, there's no reward. And for us as fans, you know, it might be frustrating to see balls hit out or serves hit out, but it's nice to see the guys pushing.
Absolutely. A great soft block there by Duncan MacDonald in the middle on Nicola Conti, slowing that ball down. And lovely cam there by Cone Turnbull to find Ewan Ramsey, who found the line. Substitution there for San Marino. Oh, saved by the foot.
Yep.
was.
It's just a good thing that most people in these British and Irish Isles grow up playing football.
Yes.
And I like to remind a lot of players, technique gives you the best probability of being successful, but it doesn't mean that it's perfect. You can have weird technique, you can do something completely unorthodox, but the job is get the ball to the setter, get the ball up, put the ball down and win a point. However you do that, I don't think the coach will complain too much.
No, it doesn't get extra points for being pretty.
Although that would be interesting if there was a third referee that give you like extra style points, like in gymnastics, for like difficulty.
Yeah, oh yeah, and execution. Yeah, no. I feel like, oh, there, that's perfect execution, very pretty. Absolutely beautiful connection there between Turnbull and his middle there. Duncan MacDonald, he'd be delighted with that after being blocked on the last ball. Valpinari had shut him down a point before, but great decision making there by Cole to change up the middle set, deciding to make that set just a little further away to avoid that block from Valpinari. As Ewan Ramsey goes back to serve. It has to be said, you know, as San Marino looking back there at Ewan Ramsey, you know, as players, he got a run in the last set. Is there a little bit of fear there? They need to kind of, I suppose, erase what happened earlier in the game and deal with the ball they're given, call it early, communicate, try to get that ball high into the middle of the court, or just hope for the best. Just hope the commentator's curse comes and gets him. But there is nothing worse, I feel like, as a passer than when you're seeing that player who got a run of serves and you're like, we just need to break this serve early. There is pressure with that. Valpinari back to serve. Well dealt with by Naid, and beautiful run through the middle. Great work there. Duncan MacDonald going deep to 5. Great decision there because the libero wasn't on court. Valpinari, of course, serving. He's in the middle. He's staying on court, but our defensive specialist libero off court, allowing him to serve. And great court vision there by MacDonald to find 5. As Ciara Pattison goes along. Score now 23-18 to Scotland. Cole Turnbull is really finding...
It wasn't pretty, but it still counts.
It still counts, but he's running the middle now. He's feeling that confidence. His middles are running. It's great to reward them for that. His middles are often the hardest working players on court, but the maybe the least appreciated until they do something pretty. But great decision making there.
If it is a conscious decision by Cole, it's really nice just to open the game up, to try and get San Marino to change and adapt to what Scotland are doing through the middle, and then exploit them on the pins afterwards. And that is, as a setter, it's this constant game of cat and mouse.
Yeah. Pull them in, push them out. Pull them in, push them out.
But it's what makes it so fun being a setter.
It's also what makes it so tiring. Free ball opportunity here. Will be just getting that ball high so someone else can come help him. Super patience there by Owen Johnson. He just waited on that ball and was able to bring that in beautifully. Super work by Scotland middle blocker there. Owen Johnson.
So it's going to be really interesting to see how San Marino come out for this third set. My general feeling is after you go 0-2, there's 2 options. You can go home early and say thank you very much, or you can come out swinging.
Well, you know, there's a statistic that says that the team that wins the third set is the most statistically likely to win the game. Obviously, if it's the third, if you've won 2, obviously that makes sense.
Yeah.
But in general, you know, if you come from 2-0 down, you can turn it around. They do say that you're statistically
I am glad you added in. Obviously, if it goes more than 3 sets, I was waiting. That was like a Michael Owen comment. You go, the team that scores the most goals generally wins.
It's like a Netflix documentary, the floating head. Yeah. But yes, we might just explain the libero for some people who might not be that familiar with that position. You'll notice on court there are a player on both sides who has a different coloured jersey that seem to be leaving the court for certain players. The libero is a defensive specialist, and in general they come on for the middle players. Why would that be?
Well, as the game has turned to specialization, we want to get the most utilization out of middle blockers, which we need height, we need power. Obviously, the disadvantage from body control, center of mass, that then they're maybe not just as agile to get under the ball on defense. So as the game's changed, that we've become more specialized in one area, there's negatives on the other side. And they came up from the FIVB side that they want the game's rallies to last longer, and a defensive specialist would actually help. Quite often I try to say it's a little bit like a goalkeeper.
Yeah.
You know, they stay in their box because although they can go into the front of the court, they're not allowed to attack. They're purely there for ball handling, receiving, setting. But, you know, quite often they do instill confidence in the team to control, to slow down. Kind of what we're talking now these days of, you know, a ball-playing goalkeeper.
Yeah. Yeah, in the same way that the setter is the conductor of the offense, the libero is the maestro of the back row. Might work on my alliteration there. I feel like there's
I like it.
I think there's I definitely could get that better. But yes, they are definitely the masters in the back row. And I think they kind of have a bit of that kind of crazy streak that goalkeepers have. That they kind of have that kind of kamikaze.
They have to. I said, I always like for me, my liberos need to be crazy. My setters need to be a little bit cheeky.
And calm. Yeah, I feel like a good setter has a little bit of sass in them. No changes to either side as they step back out into court.
Let's see how San Marino starts off. Either they're thinking about getting on the bus to go back to the hotel, or they're thinking about going the distance and taking 5 sets.
I really hope for us, as the neutral spectator, it is the latter. Nice high set there under pressure. Double touch and also in the front row. San Marino will be happy to have gotten out of that. A poor pass to start, but setter David Gasparoni putting on the jets to get his players in an attacking position. Good serve there from Gasparoni. Two tight balls there, well dealt with by Gasparoni. And again, giving his players an opportunity to hit even when they're under pressure. Great finish there by Garatoni, the captain for San Marino.
It's also really nice to see the body control in the air, to jump, to turn sideways, to keep that shoulder away from the net.
Kind of like ballet dancers sometimes, I feel like setters can be. Oh, Coltonari not happy with that miss. As Jack Roger goes back to serve for Scotland. Do you know what? I thought that was going to be... Yeah, I really thought that was going to go a little further. It was out, but I thought it was going to be more out. Gasparoni back to serve. High ball into the middle of the court from maybe Cole Turnbull again going for his out option when he's under pressure there. That angle just a little too difficult maybe for Ewan Ramsey. Early timeout being called by Scotland there as San Marino lead 4-1.
And again, as I said, we're at the under-20s. They are developing players, and there is a variability, even with Ewan being one of their best players. If he tries to hit that angle off his favourite angle, and he does it 10 times, sometimes it'll be half a metre short, sometimes it'll be half a metre long. Doesn't make him a bad player.
No.
But chances is he'll go back out and hit the next one half a metre shorter. Job's done, and we keep going.
And if you're the player that's getting the most balls, then you know you have the most opportunities to make a mistake or to grind that out. So I think if we're looking at percentage ball, he's still doing pretty good. Gasparoni back to serve. Scotland in the past, they're starting very deep, but as soon as Gasparoni tosses the ball, you see them all take 2 steps up. I wouldn't say Gasparoni has been serving particularly deep. I think, yes, they have. They've started up a little bit further. They may step up again now. And there they go. They take that step. Much better pass from Scotland. Wonderful swing by Keir Patterson there in the wing. Scotland seem to be inviting San Marino to serve short by leaving all that space in front of them, but then as soon as they take their eye off the court during the toss, taking that step up, removing that space. Great block there, but well covered by San Marino. They're going back to Nicola Conti. Oh!
Unlucky balls.
Great swing by Nicola Conti there from San Marino. Scotland unlucky not to get a ball back over the net there.
This is the wonderful thing about sport, having those little moments that just make you go, hold your breath and go, wow, what just happened? Gets you excited.
Exactly. Good lineup on the block there, just not penetrating, putting back into court there, San Marino. They're reading it well, they just need to finish. Ramsey from the baseline, top spin. Well taken by David Matza, just goes over. Oh, free ball opportunity. A bit of confusion there. You'd feel that Scotland didn't deserve to win that point, but that's not how the game works. It is 4-6 to Scotland. Lovely controlled pass there by Captain Garatoni. Oh, monster block there by Duncan MacDonald. And Keir Patterson. Be very, very happy with that. The harder you hit it, the faster it comes back off those blocks sometimes. Sigh of relief maybe there from San Marino. As we look at the court right now, it certainly doesn't feel like Scotland are losing this set. You'd say that they look a little bit more comfortable even though they're behind by 2 points.
Yep.
Bartholomew Bijou. Both middles missing their serves for San Marino at the start of this game. Keir Patterson goes back to serve. Free ball opportunity here. Nice soft block. Just wide. I'm kind of annoyed now at Volpinari for not running in the middle there. Scotland were well able to set their block there on the wing. Not really doing his outside wing any favours by standing there unavailable at the net. Scotland having great timing on that block, shutting it down. Really need to be trying to, even if you're never going to get that ball, run it, sell an option, make the Scottish blockers think. First referee Alan Gormley says, no, that's a throw.
So obviously the definition of the game is that the ball should be rebounded off your body. The game has went in a way where we're starting to blur the line a little bit, and Alan decided that was just a little bit over the line.
It's more like a slam dunk. Oh, lovely set. Little off-roll shot there. Great decision making by Nicola Conti. Caught the block, but they were on the way down. Ball coming down in front of them there for Scotland. In. Beautiful serve there by Nicola Conti. On a postage stamp in the corner. Really aggressive serve there.
Timeout has been called by Scotland. The score 10-7 to San Marino.
But I have to say, I really like San Marino's pink knee pads.
Really like their pink knee pads.
Unfortunately, don't think it would go with the Irish green kit that well, but
I don't know. Pink goes with green, as per the musical Wicked, but that would be a bit of a... That would be a crossover that really only affects very small amount of people.
the black kits maybe?
The black kits, yeah, black and pink. Definitely. It does look nice with the navy. See now how Scotland respond. Really important to San Marino, keep their heads here. Keep chipping away. Nicola Conti from the service line. Oh.
Unfortunate. Personally, I know people like to complain about not missing serves. I don't mind if my teams miss the first serve, but the second serve annoys me.
Yeah.
Because generally, if you miss the first serve, you won the last point anyway. So you've went +1, and then you go back to neutral. But if you're starting to build momentum, pull away from the team, and then you miss it like what happens there, you're just giving the opponent the opportunity to start to come back at you.
Great blocking there by Scotland. Touches off the top of the block there for certain.
Well spotted by Madam President.
Indeed. Hawkeye down there. Good confidence in his hitters there. David Gasparoni going back to David Matza. Block first time. Well covered by San Marino, but Matza having the...
Not the tallest of attackers, but, you know, for every disadvantage, there's other advantages. And he's learned really well in this tournament how to stay high, how to hit that little bit up, judging the height of the blockers.
Yeah. Garatoni doing the same. Just tooling the block.
I think now in volleyball terms these days, it's like the Ronaldo-Messi argument. You want athletes, but you want people creative with the ball as well.
Yes. Another... Last few passes from Scotland have certainly been a little lackluster. Cole Turnbull has got them out of a little bit of sticky situations, but not there.
I'm sure Ewan Ramsey's just itching to get back front court now.
Absolutely. Much better pass there by Keir Patterson. And you can see there, Cole Turnbull recognising Scotland just lost a few points. He needs to go to his on-form player. And Ewan Ramsey moves into the front row as Turnbull goes back to serve. Oh, David Matza, very clever there. For all intents and purposes, could really only go cross court, but turning the ball across that block.
It's a risky play, especially when you come so far inside.
So far into court.
As said, with hindsight, if he wins the point, he's a genius. If he gets blocked, he's a villain.
That's the second miss serve for Volpinari. Yeah, but it's kind of like you said, you know, when momentum is with you in the game, things like that just go your way. If that happened in the second set, you know, it would have been in. You know what I mean? So
people always say I'm a very lucky person, but I think luck is preparation meets timing.
yes.
And when you're prepared to do something and the timing arrives and you just do it, and people go, "Wow, that was lucky." You go, well, no, things were going my way and I just did it. It's a little tight.
Ooh. 4 touches there. I think David Gasparoni forgetting he is front court, and that Nicola Conti is actually in the back row. That would have been a beautiful set for him if he was front row, but alas, he was not. Jack Rogers back to serve. He has caused some trouble from the service line for San Marino. San Marino still with a 2-point lead, 14-12.
So this is often, you know, at the start of each set, 6 to 8 points, the team's trying to figure out who's leading, who has positive energy. Middle of the set, sometimes it quiets down. it's not that they lose motivation, but it's just, you know, they get into a flow, into a rhythm, and you'll see once we start getting to the business end of things that the energy, the attention, the eyes start to open, really start chomping for the points, because now, as I said, we get to the business end of the set.
Oh. Good court vision there by Nicola Conti, just to find that hole in the middle of the court. Scotland sitting maybe back on their heels, ready for him to swing. Gasparoni's back to serve.
Ooh, it dropped.
It really did. It's 4 aces for San Marino in this set. They're really putting on pressure from the service line, though they do have 4 service errors. So. Scotland have another chance. And Ewan Ramsey shaking it up a little bit, went deep cross court the first time. Bringing it a little bit closer to 6 this time.
It's nice to see Ramsey run diagonally as if he's going to hit cross, turns the hand in a way to hit down the line. It's really difficult for defenders when you're running one way and attacking another.
Double touch there called against Rambo. Unlucky, just under a bit of pressure there.
So you just feel that Scotland's went off the boil. And when I think back about this set, how many balls have they actually attacked? And San Marino have done a good job not letting them attack. They're keeping control of the ball, they're serving, they're in possession, there's very little attacks coming, and now they're in the ascendancy.
Yes, and defenses that San Marino weren't maybe getting a few points ago.
Ooh, curse of the commentator again.
At a second opportunity, he doesn't miss. That's happened a few times on both sides where the setter, you know, they've gone to their hitter, they've either been blocked or, you know, it's been a miss hit of some sort. It shows great confidence in their players. Okay, I'm going to let you go again.
Yeah. With only 6 players on a big court, we can't carry someone. We need everyone playing, and
absolutely.
If you don't go back to them, they go cold.
And as we said, Duncan MacDonald is certainly not cold there, finding his rhythm through the middle. He was very effective earlier. Was that? Very effective earlier in the game when he came into the front row, especially towards the end of the last set. So lovely serve by Ramsey there. Free ball opportunity here for Scotland. Great job on a one-man block. You know, that was some great decision-making there by Colin Turnbull. You know, he jump-set that ball out to the wing. It was a one-man block. Has to be said that I think it was Garatoni that was out there. Or actually, maybe it was Nicola Conti that, you know, did well to get a touch on that block. And if I'm being honest, Keir Patterson should have ripped that ball cross-court rather than trying to find the line. He had only one-man block up against him. He's one man again. Great touch.
Good
Free
scramble.
ball again for Scotland. Garatoni's sitting there.
Conti showing that he can do a bit of everything.
Yeah. Deft touch then at the end to deal with the overpass.
So it's something with the development of statistics within the games these days. It's not just about spikes, it's not just about percentages. It's starting to develop from football, from shots on target to expected goals. And making the right decisions like Cole did to put you one-on-one gives you a higher probability, or, you know, expected point. But that doesn't stop the opponent doing something wonderful sometimes. And it's frustrating because you should get it, but you don't.
Absolutely. But Duncan MacDonald certainly making his presence felt in the front row.
Yeah. Making a late surge for middle blocker of the tournament, possibly.
finding your front court hitter on the serve can be really effective sometimes, but also sometimes when players pass and transition, that kind of steady flow of movement, they can be super effective. And I feel like Conti is definitely one of those players that when he's in a flow, he can be super effective. Volpinari just rushing that a little bit.
I think usually when you see players like that, it tells me a lot about their personality and their character, because there are some players that get, you know, buzzed after taking that ball and then they want to go hit it even more, and there's some players that just, they don't want the ball at the beginning, they just want to take their time and then hit it hard. And a lot of it is with character. You know, we look a lot on players, do they hit better with also passing or without passing, can really dictate what way you want your serving strategies to be.
Absolutely. Volpinari a little frustrated there as the block goes out.
Great hang is a bit high, but as I said, no spin, no win.
No spin, no win. Yes, he's going to flick on that wrist. Scotland pulled between there's 1 point between the sides, 2019 to San Marino.
So this is, I like to think about volleyball in the case of, it's a game to 20 and then a sprint to 25. And if you never get to 20, you never had a chance.
No, absolutely.
So let's see who puts their foot down first.
I think the characters of both teams will come to show now in these last 5 points. Scotland, while they've been behind this entire set, certainly seem calm, and I think Cole Turnbull probably feels like he has more options right now. You know, he has Ewan Ramsey always ready there, but he has opened up his middle and he seems to be connecting well with them. And it has to say that Ciara Patterson and Jack Rogers have been quite consistent on the wing, even though they maybe have not got quite the look in that you might expect from a wing players. Right now, from San Marino, it feels like Nicola Conti's doing all the work.
It's definitely doing the heavy lifting for the team.
And he goes past and swing again.
Taking the responsibility on the shoulders, putting the team in the position. Could be for Scotland, you know, obviously the players all have to rotate. They have to play all of the 6 positions on court. Number 2 is their middle, has just went out of the back row, so it's a little bit more limiting than what it could have been, but those are the breaks, unfortunately.
Absolutely. How Cole Turnbull didn't hit the net there, I do not know. Bit of panic there, Bernie. You know, he was there. All he needed to do was just take 2 hands on that and volley it up. If it was a double, it didn't matter. It's the first touch off the block or first touch off defense. You know, he can double that ball. Just a little bit of panic. Great pass by Ciara Patterson. And Nicola Conti goes again. Gasparoni.
Great use, great use.
Great decision by Gasparoni there to go out to his captain, David Garatoni. Set was a little tight, but nice and cool under pressure, just pushing it through the hands of Owen Johnson, middle blocker for Scotland. Again, pass very tight. Nothing Cole Turnbull could do about that. It is set point to San Marino. It's 24-19. That was a great timeout by a head coach from San Marino. Oh, David Matza.
Just rushed the toss. Yeah. Just tried to finish the game off.
Just let it be done. As Cole Turnbull comes back.
This is where the first fight is against yourself. The second one's against the net. The third one's against the opponent.
But Cole Turnbull server, that means that Ewan Ramsey has moved into the front row. And that is a monster block by Owen Johnson. Great timing. I feel like San Marino, they've been putting away balls, they've been getting around the block. It feels like they're a little bit hesitant on their block cover here. Maybe just expecting the game to win itself. It certainly won't do that. Well reached by Volpinari. Oh. Great work by David Garatoni, powering through that block of Ramsey. And San Marino take the set.
So unfortunately, as I said, it's only 1 point, But at the end of the match, it makes a difference compared to the start of the match. And number 3 here, rather than getting out of the way, letting the outside having a swing, giving that free ball, you're putting yourself on the back foot.
Absolutely, yeah. Scotland, there was definitely an attacking option off that last ball from Scotland. I think they've been probably giving a little bit more free ball, and San Marino have been exploiting it. Again, I'd like to see a little bit more variety in the San Marino attack, but then they don't seem quite as comfortable, and it has to be said, Nicola Conti has really stepped up for them as a consistent passer and attacker, both in the front and the back row.
And I have to say, I hope for you guys at home watching, you know, players like Conte is really impressive. Aesthetically, he looks great. How he moves, his movement, his arms, it's fluid, it's dynamic, it's aggressive when it needs to be. One of the nicest things that we have now is bringing volleyball to the people who can't join us here today at the National Indoor Arena. And what we'd love is to have spectacular things happen. And, you know, you go home, try it yourself. I remember being a kid, you know, someone scores an amazing goal at the weekend. Everyone on Monday in school is trying to recreate that same thing.
Absolutely.
And this is what we want to try and highlight here. You know, go home, try it.
Absolutely. There's even something like, at the tender age of 32, I'm still trying new things that I see things. One of my favourite new things, and Cole Turnbull did it beautifully yesterday. It's where the ball is passed really tight on the net. Your front court setting, you turn, you face the net, and you just pop it up to your middle, and everybody thinks you're going to take a swing on it, because obviously setter is incredibly controlled and really, you know, if we get an opportunity to attack, we'd only love to influence the game a little bit in that way, but to be that unselfish and to pop it up to your middle, usually with the free net in front of them as the middle has gone with the setter, that's one of my favourite new things I'm trying to work on. And you see it play out here and you see it work well, you're like, oh, I want to go home and do that, I want to go to training now, I want to get down the court and give that a go again.
100%.
Yeah.
I think for the majority of the coaches and players here, one of the hardest things to do is to watch volleyball but not play.
I'd say so, yeah. Being on the bench and trying to, I suppose, you know, you can see so much of the game, you can see what's happening, you can see the gaps and the patterns that are emerging, and you're trying to feed that to players. I think you can train players skill-wise, you know, educate them on knowledge in the game, try to make them as clever, but getting them to change, like you said earlier, in the middle of a game is incredibly difficult. So having players that are flexible and open to change and willing to trust you, and knowing that, okay, if I make the change, if it doesn't work the first time, I'm going to persist with that and see how we go.
So let's see how Scotland react. As they've won the third set. Will they keep the trend?
Yeah, I'm a bit interested in this rotation because no, that's fine. I was about to say, it looked like Ewan Ramsey was going to start as a wing.
Although I think he has played as an outside for a couple of matches.
Yeah, he did.
Which is nice for his development.
Yeah, getting him in the pass as well. But I would rather, you know, if I was Scotland, I feel like if he was going one-on, you might have, you know, if you have the tall setter there, San Marino, up against you on the wing. I feel like he's having more success from the opposite. Case in point. Beautiful block there by setter David Gasparoni and Luca Volcanari. Two of the taller players on the court today. David Matza back to serve for San Marino. Deep ball to the corner, beautifully dealt with there by Nabi. The overhead pass. Ramsey having to put the brakes on there. That set maybe coming a little too deep for him.
So for those non-volleyball people out there, we have 6 positions on the court. There's 3 in the back row behind this green 3-meter line, 3 in the front row, and the last one from Ramsey being in the back row, he has to jump before this green line to attack. Unfortunately, the setter just pushing a little because he is big, he can jump, we can lead him, he can land in that front zone, but he just has to take off from behind the line.
Great swing there by Garatoni. Scottish block just not penetrating over the net and the ball coming down in front. to San Marino. A steady start. Oh! Great reactions there by Turnbull. Free ball opportunity here for San Marino. Matza comes in to take that short ball. Super blocked, but a super read by middle blocker Owen Johnson. Recognising and getting out there.
All starts with a setter. I've always said, good setters set the ball. Great setters don't let aces happen.
Good job. Oh, what a cover off his bum block.
Don't think he knew much about it, but he was in the right spot.
Absolutely. To get that down that low so quickly, such athleticism. I think he was still recovering from that cover, to be fair. Taken there by Cole. Just dipped it down.
You can just see a shake of the head from Ewan Ramsey. He probably thought that the San Marino guy was going to hit it off his hands and out. He took his hands away, and unfortunately it just dropped on the line.
Oh. One man block there. Bijou stuck in the middle. Scotland draw a level, 4 points apiece. With Owen Johnson back to serve, who's been very effective in the block for Scotland, making some great reads. Nice back set there to David Garatoni. Finding that line while the libero is off the court. Garatoni, a good serve. Ooh. Great defense.
Who's going to get control of it? One person just needs to slow it down. Could this be it? Back in system. Conti with the kill.
Absolutely brilliant from Conti. You really have to feel like Gasparoni is so confident in him in that moment. Like the block had already stacked. You would think that the options would have been to go out to his wing, but Conti has been so consistent for them. He is finding the way through that block. And after all that, Garatoni into the net. There was a few points in that last set there, or in that last point, you know, where other people were getting in the way of the setter. Now, as a setter, I'd be very annoyed with that, because there was definitely a few more attacking opportunities for San Marino. If I was Gasparoni, I'd be telling them now, get out of the way, make yourself available to hit. An uncharacteristic miss by Ewan Ramsey there. But he has put a huge amount of pressure on from the service line. He's definitely trying to test that San Marino pass. As Bijou goes back to serve. Oh, rotation error called against Scotland. So last server was Ramsey, so he should be in position 1. He may have been just the wrong side of a opposing player. Or maybe setter Cole Turnbull may have been the wrong side of players. A lot of discussion here. I personally would just be like, your last server was this is your rotation, put yourselves in it. You know how to do it. It's a bit of a time delay here. Rotation looks correct there. As Bijou goes back to serve. Short serve well dealt with. Again, Duncan MacDonald proving effective through the middle.
And I think as a setter, it's just so nice to have multiple options, because it can make you go a little bit crazy when you only do the same thing over and over and over, and you want to do other things because, you know, variety is the spice of life after all.
Yeah. I don't think Gasparoni is going crazy setting Conti anyway. Woo. Overcooked that. All he had to do was bring it back into the middle of the court there. Ciara Patterson just...
Stress will make you do crazy things.
It will. As Conti goes back to serve for San Marino.
I wonder if the San Marino guys should start making t-shirts saying keep calm and give it to Conte.
That's a great t-shirt. Commentator's curse.
I had with one of my my former clubs in one season. We only won in 5 sets.
Oh wow!
I think we had 12 games where we only won in 5 sets.
Oh my God.
And after about the 4th one, I got t-shirts made saying keep calm and win in 5. And we had these as warm-up tops.
Oh God! The legs, they'd be better off here. 2 missed serves in a row there. As David Matza goes back to serve for San Marino.
And I think a lot of people talk about, you know, service errors and they shouldn't be too many. I think in reality, yes, we don't want to make them, but as long as you're making less than your opponent, you're fine.
Yeah, and it's all about, you know, again, momentum in the game, where you are, how hard are you pushing, you know, where are your opponent in the game as well. But beautiful set there and connection. Owen Johnson putting that away for Scotland.
And you know, timing is such a huge thing in volleyball. It's like trying that killer pass every single time. If you're too early, too late, it makes life incredibly hard.
Absolutely, and hopefully Conti not getting overworked there. Oh, go on.
Go on.
Ah.
Unlucky.
Players had almost given up on that ball, it has to be said. You know, once it went out of his hands, nobody was ready for someone to get that second touch.
Great pass, especially with that drop in. Go on.
Set her out of system. Lovely set there by Saheed.
And again, this is what I was saying about earlier. When your body goes in the direction you want to attack, you know, your technique can just do simple things. Contact the ball. In that scenario, you know, Ewan's having to jump inside. He's trying to hit somewhere else. The hand just doesn't get the contact the same.
Alan Gormley just eagle-eyeing the score there. It should be 11-10 to San Marino.
We're just waiting from this middle part of the set. Who's going to take that 2 or 3 point jump?
Great take by the setter there, or by the libero in the back row. Goes again. Good decision to dig. He cannot set the ball. Good cover off the block.
San Marino coach with his hands on his head. It's frustrating, but it happens. Great soft block, and you think easiest pass in the world, but if there's any little bit of spin on it, it can jump off your arms.
Absolutely. And I don't know if they quite recognised that Ewan Ramsey was in position 4 there. Left with a one-man block on his second attempt. Nice soft block again. Saeed Nabi stepping into a good few setting duties at the moment. Set a little low there. Well dealt with there by Ciara Patterson. Oh!
Oh.
It was in court. Definitely in court. I think the San Marino felt there was a touch off it and it was out, but there was no stopping Ewan Ramsey there in that moment. Oh, wait a minute. Alan Gormley is telling them to step away. So, top referee Alan Gormley has said that number 9, David Gasparoni.
It's a tight call, but you know, we talk about it in all sports. The referees can only call what they see,
Yeah, it just...
and we just move on.
Yeah, he is in the front row, so I'm not sure. Is he calling a lift? But Scottish respond emphatically with a monster block there. San Marino leads a point behind now. Scotland pull away 14-11. It was 10-all. Then...
So it's just making sure that, you know, everything affects you. That call, that pass, a good ball from Scotland, and it's just tough when, you know, there's a call from the ref, there's a good ball from Scotland, you make an error yourself. From all sides, you feel the pressure, and it's frustrating, but you got to go back to the basics of what can we control.
And what's my next job?
Now we're a couple of points down, we have to go and put pressure on Scotland. Can't think about anything else right now.
Well taken there. Garatoni set a little low for him. Ooh, great discipline on the block there.
We're letting it go, we're going.
Great cover there. Good talk by Libero. Everything just a little tight. Now, what a block by setter David Gasparoni. A little bit of a shaky point on both sides.
So the higher the stakes, the higher the emotions. Now we're really getting into the business end of this. You know, if San Marino come back to 2-2.
Very exciting.
If can Scotland, so Scotland are on this point where, you know, if it goes, they're a little nervous that it could go 2-2. And the momentum's fully on San Marino's side. And San Marino are a little nervous because if they don't win this, the game's over. And it's just figuring out who can hold their nerves and still do what they can do.
Yeah. And we're fully in the rhythm of the game. You know, both teams have each other figured out now. It's about who can continue to read that game, change and adapt in the moment. Ooh. Another deep serve by setter Gasparoni.
And I think this wasn't a technical error in my eyes. I think mentality-wise, you could see he didn't want to make the error, but he didn't fully commit to actually hitting that serve. And they're the dangerous ones that they just keep going
they're
long.
like a lollipop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you hit it harder, it'll drop eventually after it floats. Unlucky. Not much you can do with that.
Swing by Garatoni there from opposite. He had an open net and he absolutely exploited it. Turnbull getting in the way, but Scotland just not quite able to get a handle on that ball to bring it back over. Super swing by Captain Garatoni.
Backs it up with a decent serve. The long distance back to Ramsey.
Oh, great
Keep
job.
it in, keep it in, boys. Love that.
Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
I think Cole must have seen some videos of me back in my playing day with that one.
Did you? I don't know about that. That was absolutely gorgeous. Such a tight pass in, but cool and calm, setting it with one hand and being able to set it backwards in that moment as well. Giving Ewan Ramsey an open net, and he made no mistake. Again, Ewan Ramsey just always switched on. Like, you know, that set was probably a little bit lower, but absolutely no bother to him. Beautiful work between setter and opposite there.
It's up.
Great pickup by Nabi. Duncan McDowell just stuck a hand out, and I wouldn't mind, but Nabi was right there. He's done some great defense for Scotland, off the block and off the tip. Got to trust your players. San Marino serve. It is 14-16, Scotland with the lead. And Tenna, touch off the block. Touch off the block.
So I have tried to explain it to players in the past. When that ball's tight on the net, it's the same for me, you know, as a football player. You're in the corner and you purposely decide, kick it off the guy to get the corner.
Yeah, use that block.
Don't be like.
Oh,
I think a lot of
it.
people get scared of hitting into the block, and they constantly avoid it, and then they hit too sharp an angle or they hit long over the block, and just get comfortable with, you know, it's something you can exploit.
And just be ready to cover off it. Great sell there again by Cone Turnbull. For all intents and purposes, he looked like he was going to swing. Popped it up there to his middle. Duncan MacDonald, who was ready to go. That was a pretty point.
Definitely been watching all highlight reels of mine.
We are definitely setter biased.
Ooh.
Too excited was Ciara Patterson.
I like that serve though. It's a bit old school, you know, 5, 6 meters behind the net, long serve, but you know, eventually it does drop.
He has been quite effective actually, with probably the most unassuming serve on court today, but that's his first error.
This is
Conti's second
this is
set.
something we look at, the difference of coaches technically and statistically. You know, it can be a great serve, you can hit it hard, it can look amazing, but if the passer passes it perfect, it's a bad serve.
Yeah.
You can miss-hit it, it can lollipop, it can hit the net tape, it can drop down. Everything was wrong, but it's a perfect serve statistically.
Absolutely. Duncan MacDonald back here. Go on, go on, go on, touch it.
Great.
And there's no one with him,
Go
come
on.
Super effort by Conti, but really,
yeah, the
no one seemed to
frustration
believe
from
that he was
Conti.
going to get it. They should all have been following him to the line there. They should have all been chasing him down. You know? San Marino need to believe that their players are going to get touches on those balls as Scotland go into that timeout 20-15 to the lead. San Marino have a good bit of work here to do.
Conti needing a little bit of cold spray on his hip here.
What does San Marino say in that timeout there?
I think it's stay calm. We know how we like to play. We know how we like to do things. We just need to go and execute.
Absolutely. Duncan MacDonald from the server line. It's about 5 minutes of hard work for both sides here. Oh, very clever from Ciara Patterson or Duncan MacDonald there.
And he's
you know,
enjoying it.
Yeah, you know, I think it's a good decision to go to Conti in that moment. You know, he's the one who's just chased it down. He's looking a little tired. You know, he's their hitting option. Maybe they want to put him off balance. And he punishes them from the spike line. Good decision there by the libero from San Marino. He changed that pass up. He took Conti out of it. He was like, let's make you ready to hit. Some good leadership in the pass there.
And you know, I think that can start from coaches, something you work on in training, but the players have to decide to do it themselves.
Yeah. And often when it's the players that decide it, you know, it's more cement in the brain. And if you're told in the moment, you have to adjust that. Whereas, you know, if you're already thinking, how can I make this better? You're reacting. It means you're reading the game much better. You have better awareness of what your statistically best options are. Players making those changes.
It's always the argument now in performance sport. It's the science versus the art. And you know, we can delve into statistics on, you know, how passing or whether he likes to hit more or whether he just needs a break. But at the same time, he needs a moment to calm down, as you said, after running, catch his breath. Even for the server, sometimes just giving them, if they're looking at Conte and you just change that it's a different person, it can just knock you a little bit out of your rhythm. The dark arts of volleyball.
Yeah, absolutely. (17-21), Scotland leading by 4. Oof. Great cover off his own block again. Conti doing it all there. Out. Little change up in the back row there for Scotland. They're running Ewan Ramsey through 6. Oh, what a beautiful serve there by David Matza. A great time to come up with an ace. He missed a serve early in the set, but looking strong and steady there. (19:21). A good time I've been called here by Scotland. Hoping just to steady his passers. They don't need to change anything. They just need to calm down, I think, a little bit.
So I think it's very interesting. You know, as I said, a lot of times as coaches, we get emotional. We see a lot of things. We want to explain a lot of things. When you really listen to the commentators, when they have those booms going in from, you know, internationals, Olympics, the coaches are very simple. Take your time, pass the ball, go and hit it.
Yeah.
That's what we get paid the big bucks to say.
Oh, well, we blame you when you don't say the right thing. Super cover by the setter there, San Marino.
Has to stay down.
Free ball opportunity for Scotland here. No touch off that block. Set just a little low. He was under pressure going turnbull. It was probably a good option. Just unlucky not to make it pay off in that moment. And it has to be said, you know, Owen Johnson has made some great plays off worse balls. So, like you said, maybe a momentum shift here. Nice pass by Keir Pattison. David Matza waiting in 6. Oh,
great
super
cover. Relax, boys. Frustrating, but you know, if you go.
And you know, I don't know what's happened to Nabi there. He was all over that. You know, he recognised that Cole Turnbull was playing that ball. He was already on it. Whether he slipped or just something in his periphery put him off. Nice steady serving by David Matza, going to Ewan Ramsey again, and it's deep.
You know, I hate to say it because I'm a big fan of Cole from Scotland, but you know, he's went off at the business part of the set, not leading his hitter forward.
Oh, what a touch by Owen Johnson there. Oh.
Wow.
Unbelievable by David Garatoni. What trust in your hitter there, it has to be said. David Gasparoni, you know, I think again, I thought, oh, it's definitely going to Conti there. But absolutely beautiful swing down the line by Garatoni. Made it look easy almost.
Great recycle. Wasn't in a great position to hit. Second bite at the cherry. Oh.
And Phil Panari, monster block, finding you in that moment.
Keep calm and go to 5, huh?
It is set point San Marino.
So
they were 21-17 down,
this
I
is
think.
hard for Scotland. Even if they make this point, it's frustration. Now, the hard thing for Ali is to get the guys reset to go again. You can start with a lot of things, but as a coach, you just got to figure out what was the catalyst. What was that first point that we messed up on that caused the rest?
Absolutely beautiful finish there from that set from San Marino. I think I feel like a little bit of the difference was there that I do think they started to mix up their attack a little bit. You know, I feel like Garatoni got a few more balls.
So I think as you play well, you enjoy yourself more, and as you enjoy yourself more, you express yourself more. And I think as a team and a setter, it's knowing when to express yourself and when just to do good things. And this is the difference, that when they're in a good, positive form, they express themselves, it's exciting to watch, they start running options all over the place. But that can only happen after Conte put that team on his back.
Yeah. Do you know, though, I'm just thinking back, like, there was that ball that Conte chased down and nobody was with him. And in that moment, I was like, you know, if as a team, they looked like they had given up in that moment. They won back the point. It was 21-17. David Matza came on to serve. And he served them all the way through to the end. Like, I'm just looking at the rotation to make sure that's right, and it is. But, like, it's amazing how attitude and, like, I suppose, where outside it looked like maybe that was the killer moment. And if I was Scotland in that moment, I'm like, yeah, they're done for. Let's grind the screw. Maybe they just took their step off a little bit there, Scotland.
I think as one team comes up, the other team naturally goes down. It's impossible for both teams to fight at a high level against each other. And, you know, from that down position, when Matteo is starting to serve, it's you get the first serve in and you start to roll the ball. You get the second serve in, you start to believe you can do it. You get the third ball in, the team starts to believe we can do it. You get to four.
Tip off the top of the net.
Scotland are coming down. They're frustrated that they're not getting the point. Your team's rolling up. Everyone is that little bit more alert and excited because now they all really want it. And I think this is one of the biggest things in volleyball is you can't pretend, you can't fake that belief from that first ball. But as soon as the ball starts to snowball, how can you drag and elongate that run out as long as possible?
Well, put your money where your mouth is. Who are you betting on?
So you're looking at San Marino are up right now. You know, they've took the last two sets. The question is, do they have the physicality? Because I feel like they've worked their bodies harder.
Yeah.
And can they maintain that energy level? Because if they can't, I think you let Scotland come in. And Scotland are not a bad team. We've seen that in the first two sets. They did what they wanted, and San Marino couldn't deal with it. So if San Marino can't keep the energy up, you will see Scotland play like the first two sets.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the mistake teams make at this point is, you know, you fight so hard to get yourself into an opportunity to win the game, which is what San Marino have done the last two sets. They were coming from behind. This is their opportunity to win the game. Now they have to go and win it. It doesn't just happen. Great decision to have David Matza start serving after the run he had at the last set.
Oh, what a set.
I think he was going all in there with Keir Patterson. Shakes it off. Much better pass there. Well dealt with by Conte. Garatoni with an off-roll power shot. Whew.
So this is the difference. You see that ball being put between Ramsey and the net that allows him to accelerate in it. So difficult to defend when it's coming at that sort of speed.
I think David Matza might have gotten the way. Keir Patterson back to serve. Again, that unassuming but really effective serve.
So it's difficult because you see the flight of the ball at the beginning, you think it's coming fast, but it loses so much energy because it's in the air for such a long time. And by the time you pass it, it's low energy, and you got to put something into it then. It's really difficult to change that mentality from being more controlled to active and aggressive with it.
Monster block there. Scotland against Nicola Conte. That ball just kept on going from Keir Patterson.
But really nice. Pretty much the whole tournament has been 3-0. So now the people are getting their money's worth today.
Absolutely. Volponari. Deep serve to one. A great connection through the middle. I have to feel that Duncan MacDonald and Cole Turnbull are really connecting well today. Nice soft block there by Scotland. Oh! San Marino unable to control Ramsey there. David Gasparoni unable to get a hand to bring that back into court, despite those very long arms and legs. Flat serve. There was no block there, really, was there?
I think they kind of thought he's too far off. There is at times when, you know, you don't feel like the hitter has a great approach. It's better not to block and just step up and be aggressive on the defense instead of getting that like nasty little touch out that you really didn't need, or a net touch. Usually that would have to come from the defense to call that they don't want the block there, that they can step in. If the block decides themselves and the defense are too far back, then you just leave massive gaps on the court.
Garatoni really coming into his own in this set. That ball is long and no touch off the block. Get another rather unassuming serve here by Gasparoni. Likes to go deep with very little on it. Again, as you said, the passer's having to create energy through the ball there. Oh, great cover again. Oh. I think that was one of those perfect examples of what you said when the ball is tight on the net.
So, as usually when the ball gets tight on net, you panic a little bit and you just try and hit it and you want to get it over and you go straight, and when you start to gain experience, you say the tighter it is, I just got to change the angle as much as possible.
Just a little deep there. The teams draw level at 5 points apiece. Two back row setters now, which mean that both Nicola Conti and Ewan Ramsey
will fight it out at the net.
Yeah, absolutely. San Marino passer stepping up there, probably hoping to take this ball early overhead. Much better pass there by Garatoni. Tips it long.
Nice.
Do you know, Cole Turman read that ball. He saw him going up with the high hand. It's like that's a tip. Took a step in. But great decision making and court vision there by Garatoni to try and tip that deep. Catching Turnbull on the hop.
I think to score points in volleyball, there's two main ways to do it. You can hit it at such a speed you put the opponent under pressure, even if it's right on them, like what happened just there with Cole, or you put it in a place where they're not. Ideally, we do both. We hit it hard where they're not.
Until they move there, and then you tip it. They keep taking a step back. Scotland take a 1 point lead, 7-6. Oh God, I think that ball was out.
That's where those long arms are disadvantaged sometimes.
Oh! And Bijou, you know, poor old Bijou, I feel like he hasn't gotten any sets in this game, but when it counted, ready to take that overpass on. It is 7-all. As Bijou goes back to serve.
Kind of reminds me of the Steve Nash rule for the Chicago Bulls. You're only going to get one shot. Make it count.
Make it count. Oh, beautiful defense.
Calm it down. Go on.
David Matza.
And again, that ball is so tight to the net, you cannot get around and avoid the block, and you just have to do something else. The block is actually at an advantage. Normally, we will always say the attacker has an advantage over a blocker until the situation where you're so tight, you can't go anywhere, and there just has to be a better solution to that. And again, these are still young players who try to do what they can do good, and it's not a technical error for me, it's a decision error on that one. So you got to listen to, you know, your gut feeling on that one. You know, us watching from the side here, or potentially you guys at home, you see that ball tight and your stomach just goes, ugh. And for me, I like to teach a lot of players, use that feeling. Don't think about what should I do for plan B. train your plan B, and as soon as you feel that, implement it.
Absolutely. I have to say Scotland have probably been a little bit more consistent on the out-of-system ball.
Yeah.
Oh, go on, touch it.
Scotland have chased those down.
Some great defense there by Scotland.
Second bite. Is he going to get a third? Oh, it's over. Yeah, and the setter. The setter's arguing he didn't touch it. Is there going to be a card on the libero? That's an awful time to have it.
Oh. So explain to viewers what happened there.
So obviously you have to play the ball on your side of the net, and the argument from the San Marino setter is I didn't touch it. If he did touch it on the Scotland side, that is an error. You can't bring it back because the ball can only travel through once. Okay, it's only a yellow. So a yellow card is a warning. It won't be a loss of point. Only a red card is a loss of point. And understandably, if the setter didn't touch it, but the referee deemed he has, you know, unfortunately, you suck it up and you keep going.
And that yellow card is just for probably an outburst there from libero San Marino. And frustration's boiling over. A yellow card is fine. It's just telling you to...
And it's interesting. We did actually praise them at the start of the game for having a bit of emotion, but then apologise afterwards. But obviously, in the heat of the moment, when it... and this is what I said, at the start of a set, it doesn't really matter. But when you get to the business end and it matters, emotions change.
Yeah, and controlling those, using them positively. Really calm there from Nicola Conti, and you know, set just a little bit off the net, but probably
had a lot to do.
Yeah. And San Marino go within a point now. It is 8-9. Scotland with that 1 point lead. Nice control pass there.
Oh, unlucky. Not much he could do there.
No, set just a little low, probably forcing that. If anything, Ciara Patterson was the man who was on. Scotland supporters incensed. They've really come out in full voice here. A lovely pass again by Ciara Patterson. And he doesn't miss twice. Such confidence. Beautiful, beautiful passing by Ciara Patterson. Cole Turnbull says, I'm going to remedy the mistake we made there. They run a different option. Ball close to the setter.
And I think Ali has actually set the lineup quite well. You know, you find it's like any national team. You got to find the right players for the right role. And with Ewan in the back row right now, to have that middle with the setter that he's front row, it gives them, you know, a clear go-to option. If number 2 was in the same rotation with Ewan, you start to create a bit of conflict. Although it might be hard for the opponent blocker, you're also limiting the amount of balls you can give to 2 influential players.
And in that moment, you can see how important that connection is. You know, that was a really scrappy ball. But again, Duncan MacDonald running, he's always trying to create an opportunity to be set. And right there for Corn Turnbull, he had no choice but to set it. And maybe not the sharpest of hit, but able to find a hand on the outside of the San Marino block. And a great, great point for Scotland. You have to think that is a bit of a momentum shifting point. It is 11-9 to Scotland. In many regards, they didn't have any right to win that point, but they did.
It's a little bit at this stage, you know, you don't want to let it go too long. The closer you get to the end of the set, the bigger every error is. So, you know, before 10 points, by the time Scotland get to 10 points, San Marino have to decide, okay, do we push now? Because pushing in the next point at 12 or 13 is too little too late.
Oh! Jesus, that was some serve there by Ewan Ramsey.
So this is something that's, you know, as the game develops, all sports change, you know, every decade, every generation, the science is changing. People create systems to create advantages, and then eventually a new system comes out to exploit that one. And with jump serves now, it's not just about hitting it straight and hard. A lot of players are trying to get a little bit of side spin that it curves, so it makes it harder for the passer's angle. Also over. That is frustrating, but I do agree.
Yeah, San Marino had a 4-man pass there. That ball was definitely over the line of the net. In fairness to David Gasparoni, all he could do was try. But as soon as he brought that ball back, he was going to be called. If anything, he should have just gone up and sold the set. But look, in that moment, all he wants to do is try and get his players running. And he has set some incredibly difficult and tight balls earlier in the set beautifully. So he's well capable. But just a couple of inches of the difference there on that point. If you're Scotland, you're probably delighted to have Ewan Ramsey at the service line right now. But he is human. He still has to go back and serve this next point. San Marino have passed his ball quite well. They've been serve receiving for the past 5 sets against him.
Although, you know, I would say he is a talented boy, and you know, we can talk about some players on quarter in the team here having potential, because sometimes they do it right and sometimes they do it wrong, and they don't really know why it was different. Talent is you apply the same thing, you repeat it, you go over and over, and you go, he's talented, but he has potential.
Well dealt with there by Setter. Oh, that was a beautiful decision by Cole Turnbull there. I mean, you saw the hands go up as he went to set that ball. Everybody thought he should have tipped it. He set it out to the wing, and Keir Patterson, one-on-one, rips across court. Absolutely great play there by Scotland.
Side, yeah.
Great work though by Ewan Ramsey to get his team
just
back in it.
tossed the ball a little bit low, had to try and get under it. It's going to loop it up. Usually it's really great for players to learn, how do I try and get that ball over off a bad toss, because unfortunately it does happen.
David Matza to serve again. He has gotten his team.
Love that.
A great finish there by Keir Patterson off the top of the San Marino block. Absolutely beautiful win by Scotland.
Fantastic for Scotland. Now they have to get their flights booked to Serbia.
Absolutely. Have to say, absolutely amazing performance by San Marino to come from 2-0 down.
So 5 sets are always a little bit of a coin toss. Whoever starts well, if, you know, for Scotland, they always talk about football, you know, the worst score line is 1-0. You think you're secure and it's not. In volleyball, it quite often is 2-0 instead of 1, because at 1 you have momentum, you keep going. At 2 you think the job's done. And the motivation, you know, it's not that the motivation drops or the will to win drops, but subconsciously you go, okay, we're handling this. And the other team come and they go, we got to push. And as soon as that starts to swing, as you said, the 3rd set, they start to come back, and as one team goes up, one team comes down, and if the 3rd goes like that, the 5th is really, you know, did Scotland time it right to get that momentum?
I think the difference in that 3rd set was Cole Turnbull had more options and had run more options. Even in those sets where he'd lost, Scotland lost, you know, he had opened up the game a little bit more for his players, and it meant in that 5th set you had the likes of Duncan MacDonald stepping up, Keir Patterson, and you know, you had Ewan Ramsey in the back row there serving, but you know, I felt like he had more options, and it meant that he was giving his players more one-on-one opportunities to score, whereas for San Marino, Nicola Conti had an amazing game. But maybe,
and that's tough, you know. You lose as a team, but you had a great game, and how do you balance that?
Absolutely. And I think, you know, if we could have opened up the middle for San Marino, I've seen them hit beautifully earlier this weekend, but I feel like they didn't get an opportunity to express themselves in the attack. Some super blocking by both Volpinari and Bijou, but again, maybe not making themselves available at times, or demanding that. I feel like the pass was there at times. But it meant that from a Scotland defence perspective, it was a bit more predictable.
Well, I hope you guys at home enjoyed it as much as we did.
Absolutely.
I hope you enjoyed myself and Regina giving you all our insights, years of knowledge, all compressed into one YouTube channel. Absolutely.
We'll be back shortly for a home derby, Northern Ireland versus Ireland, and we hope to see you back in a few minutes.